Hey y'all, something exciting is happening here. I am actually in the middle. Welcome back to my channel, by the way. So rude of me. Sorry about that. I'm just like hopping right into it. But I am in the middle of reading this book, 11/22/63, and I'm gonna be honest, not loving it. It's sitting at like a 3-star read for me right now. I am about 60% of the way through, so this is how much I've read. This is what I have left, and I've been listening to it mostly via audiobook just because it's the easiest form of reading this. Like holding this is not that fun, so I've been listening to it via audiobook. But today I was just listening and I was like, I'm bored. Like I don't want to listen to this right now. So I think I'm gonna stop DNF for now. I am still hoping to finish it soon, but I don't want to prioritize that book right now. What I'm really feeling is a reread, which is so exciting because I've never reread a book ever, I don't think. And the book that's just been on my mind for the last like 2 months, and I feel like it's the perfect season to pick it up, is a book that's actually right behind me. And it's from my favorite author, and it's actually my favorite book in the entire world. So I'm wondering if I'll feel the same way this time around if I do reread it. And I'm just looking at it in the viewfinder. The Great Alone by Kristin. This is my favorite book. I read this in February of last year for the first time, and I fell in love with it. I loved the characters. It was so emotional. It made me cry. This was actually my first Kristin book, I believe. So I wonder if that's also part of why I loved it so much. I did not know what to expect at all with her writing, and so I just kind of was in it for the ride. I definitely bought this book like a couple of years ago, and I put it off for so long just because it's a bit chunkier than the books that I'm used to. But I read this in 2 days. I could not put it down. I was just so in love with it, and I still am. I think about this book all the time, and the reason why I want to pick it up now is because this takes place in like remote wilderness Alaska. And I was just watching a YouTube video. It's called Outdoor Boys. It's a channel where this guy and his 2 sons live in Alaska, and they do like super outdoorsy nature camping. And it just is so beautiful, like the video and the scenery, that I'm instantly transported back to this book because the setting of Alaska is extremely atmospheric. Like the setting is a character. It makes or breaks these characters quite literally. And so I don't know, I just can't help myself. I want to pick it up. I want to reread it. And I'm wondering if after I reread this, I'll want to reread other books, because there are a couple that I wouldn't mind rereading again, just because I read them a few years ago and I'm wondering how I would feel now. So I think we're going to read this tonight. It's totally unexpected. I'm in the middle of 11/22/63 and a different book that I just picked up last night, but this is just calling to me, and I'm kind of scared because, like I mentioned, hopefully my opinion doesn't change on this book. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I love it even more, and I guess we'll just kind of see. But I think that's what we're doing tonight, is at least starting it and seeing how I feel. And I don't know, if I'm not feeling it, then maybe this video will be scrapped and you'll never see this. But I'm hoping that's not the case, and I do just kind of fall in love with it and reread it. Hopefully at the pace that I read it last year. That would be nice, but if I don't, that's fine as well. I just want this world to be what I'm picturing again. So I think I'm gonna start The Great Alone by Kristin again, and I can't wait. All right, I have some reading essentials here that I want to show you. First and foremost, we need our water. This is my Owala water bottle. This is what I use all the time. Owala is my favorite. I actually don't even own a Stanley. This is the brand that I'm like a ride or die for. And it carries, I don't know how much water, like 30-ish ounces of water, 24 ounces. So decent amount, perfect temperature. I love it. So water, of course, to stay hydrated. Then I have my book, obviously. I have a snack. This is what I'm currently eating. It's the Hue Get Back to Human Nut Butter Filled Cashew Butter flavor. The cashew butter is my favorite. This is chocolate, and it's cashew butter with vanilla bean. I'm not kidding when I say this is my favorite. I actually emailed them a couple years ago, and I was just kind of gushing to them how much I love this flavor specifically, and they mailed me about 8 bars, I think, and yeah, that was awesome. That was like my first and only ever free PR, and it was because I asked for it and they did it, so that was fun. But if you guys are in the, what's the word, in the lookout for a new chocolate, I highly recommend this brand, this flavor specifically. And then of course we have a bookmark. This one actually my best friend made me, and it's just so cute because she crafted it herself, has my little initial here at the top. and it's perfect. So obviously it was made with love, and I'm gonna read my favorite book with it. So I'm excited. Also, we have to have some lighting, some ambient lighting. I don't know if you can see that. I have a little shelf up here where I have this light, my Tortured Poets vinyl, a candle, other stuff, but I turned that light on because I might turn off the big like overhead lighting because it's kind of bright. So we might go with just that, might turn on a candle here, and we're gonna start this. Just finished chapter 2, and honestly, just reading this at a much slower pace, I feel like I'm really digesting like everything the characters are saying, because I really just want to picture it all, and I know where these characters end up obviously at the end of the book because I've read it before. So I feel like really seeing where they're starting out is very impactful, and already I'm like in my feels because I'm like, I just know this book is sad, it's emotional, there's so much hardship that the characters go through. So just seeing them, at least for a moment like happy and hopeful, is just sad. So already, obviously it being my second time reading the book, like the first time I was probably just reading it and gathering, okay, these are our characters, this is our setting for now, this is the plot. But now I'm more so really kind of going there with the characters. I'm like thinking what they're thinking, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, they have no idea what's coming and I know what's coming. So it's a very interesting aspect, and I feel like obviously I've never really had that before because I've never reread a book before. So I'm really happy it's this one because obviously I love it, and reading it again I'm just like digesting Kristin Hannah's prose, and it's so beautiful, like the way she describes things. Even I think on like the first or second page I was already like starstruck a little bit by how she described, okay, even like the first sentence, the first few sentences. That spring, rain fell in great sweeping gusts that rattled the rooftops. Water found its way into the smallest cracks and undermined the sturdiest foundations. Chunks of land that had been steady for generations fell like slag heaps on the roads below, taking houses and cars and swimming pools down with them. Oh my god, the symbolism. No, this book is gonna wreck me. I'm gonna continue reading. I don't know how much further I'll get in today, but I'm really happy that I'm on this journey, and I'm going to bring you guys along, and we'll just see what happens. But pain, I already know pain is what's going to happen. It's the next day, and I'm actually about to head out, but I quickly wanted to share with you guys where I'm at with the book. So I'm on page 156, chapter 10, and I'm more in love with it now than I was the first time, I fear, because obviously we get to kind of relive our characters' like origin story. Like I can understand better, and I feel like there's a lot of little symbols and foreshadowing that's going on that I now better understand. So obviously I'm hooked. I haven't been able to put it down. It's really kind of reading like the first time I read this book, so obviously I'm happy with that. I've also started annotating just a little bit. I don't know if you can see, there's a couple of tabs in there, and then I have this in here, and then I'm just going to carry like a pen or a marker with me, because if throughout the day I find that I want to annotate like quotes or just like character building, setting descriptions, that's what I'm going to do. So it's going really, really well so far. I've already gotten to a part where I'm like, no, like I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, because this is my favorite book ever and I want everyone to read it, but I highly, highly recommend checking trigger warnings, but also just being prepared. It's a journey. It's a beautiful journey, but it's also a very sad and emotional one. So that's all I'm going to say about the actual like content of the book, but the grade alone is Alaska. That's also kind of not a spoiler at all. It's just sort of what happens. In the back of the book, you can see that Lenny and her family moved to Alaska. And so that's kind of the basic premise, synopsis of the book. And I'm just having a grand old time. So I'm going to take this with me on my day out and about, and then I'll catch up with you guys once I'm a little bit further along. But so far, so good. I really don't know how I was able to read this book the first time. This is later in the same day of the earlier clip. I have the same hairstyle, so it's the same day, but it's later, and I'm probably 55-60% of the way through, and I feel like I'm anticipating pain now, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know how to feel, to be quite honest. Still absolutely loving it, and I don't want it to end. As always, I am considering buying like a special edition of this book just because I did end up annotating it a little bit, and I do want like just an untouched copy, if that makes sense. So let me know if you guys know anywhere that sells like a really nice special edition. I looked on Etsy and there was like one that I thought would be nice, but there weren't very many options. I also looked at Blackwell's, which is like a UK online independent bookstore. I think it might be a chain actually. I don't know. It's an online bookstore from the UK that's like ships to the US for a really good price, and they obviously just have like the UK version of the cover. So I would be open to getting that one. It's actually really cheap. It was like less than $15. So I could do that or find like a special edition, like custom made sort of situation. So I don't know yet which one I'm leaning more towards, but I think I am gonna buy an additional copy just because it is my favorite book and I love it, and I want a copy where I don't have my annotations in case I want like someone else to read it. I feel like this version is my personal copy, and the other one would be like one that I lend out to like a very small percentage of people, because again, it's my favorite book, especially with special edition. I don't want people to ruin it or like, you know, mistreat it. I don't know. So that's kind of where I'm at. This is going by way too fast. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised, but I'm not at the same time, because the first time I read this book literally took me 2 days. It's been probably about 24 hours since I started it. Like, I feel like I could finish this tonight. Am I going to? Probably not, because I am in the middle of reading another book, so I do like want to go back to that. And I don't know if I'm like in for the tears tonight, but we'll see. We are about 10-12 pages away from finishing this book, and I've very heavily teared up twice. I haven't cried, so I don't remember exactly what part of the book I cried in last time, or like the first time that I read it, but I don't know if it's these last 10 pages, so we'll see. And even as I'm talking about it, why am I like tearing up? It's just such an emotional book, but it's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, so many different emotions tied up into one novel, and I think that's why it's my favorite book, just because it makes you feel so many things. It's just beautiful. Anyway, let's finish the book. Just finished the book, and of course 5 stars. That did not change. It's still just as special to me as it was the first time I read it, and I absolutely recommend it to anyone and everyone. This book has made me want to go to Alaska so bad. I feel like a long time ago I wanted to go to Alaska, but reading this has just like reignited that want. So if you see me in Alaska, this is why. But highly recommend. Favorite book ever. I'm so glad I reread this, and that this is the first book I ever did reread, because now I know that they hit just as hard the second time. So I don't want to talk too much more about this book. I love it. It's my favorite book ever. You guys know that. I know that. It made me cry again. Emotional, amazing. Was I crying at words on paper? Yes, but this one is just unique. One of its kind. Anyway, the next book that I want to reread, because I do want to reread another one that's been on my radar. It's this one, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I read this in 2022, so 3 years ago now. I read it digitally because I was in Mexico for a month, so I didn't have any books on me, and then I bought it once it came out in the paperback. But I think I would love this book even more now, because I feel like I've come into my own as a book reader, as a book lover. This is a romance with a book editor and a book writer, I think. And it's just all about books and the love of books and a romance, and it's Emily Henry. So I think just rereading it, I feel like I would take away more from it. So I think this is going to be one of the next books that I read. and I'm very excited. First Emily Henry reread ever, second book I've ever reread ever, but I think this is gonna be a good one. I don't know if I'm gonna start it tonight though. I think we're gonna debrief, decompress from this banger and potentially start this tomorrow. It's been a few days since I last spoke to you guys, probably like 4, which is weird because usually when I'm doing a video like this, I like to, you know, keep it moving. But I did start Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and I got about 30 pages in, and I'm just not feeling it right now. I think that's the issue. I feel like I was thinking like, oh my gosh, I have to finish this book. Like, I was just avoiding it. So that's why it's been 4 days, because I've only read 20 pages in 4 days. Like, that's not a good sign, obviously. And I don't want to go into a book slump or anything. There's no reason why I have to read this book. So I do plan on rereading it someday, just not this week, because I'm just not feeling it. It's not what I'm in the mood for. So I wanted to update you guys, because obviously the video was to reread some of my favorite books, but this one is just not doing it for me. I'm so glad I read The Great Alone. That was an amazing experience, and it's not the same experience I'm having right now. So I just don't think it's fair to the book. I don't feel like I'm giving it a fair chance if I force myself to read it. So unfortunately, that's the update with Book Lovers. I did instead pick up Cleopatra and Frankenstein, and I just started it, but I actually really like it so far. I'm a chapter in. I will say I was really excited to read this because it's short. It seemed like a fast read. The font is like the teeniest, tiniest thing I've ever seen in the entire world. It's a lot smaller than I feel like books that I've been reading, so that kind of caught me off guard, but the content itself, I really like it so far. So I think I'm gonna read this, but I don't think it'll be part of this video. I just wanted to update you guys for sure about Book Lovers, because I'm soft DNFing for now, even though I've already read it. But the good news is I'm going to the Sabrina Carpenter show tonight because it's in LA. My camera died, but I was saying I'm going to the Sabrina Carpenter concert tonight, and I'm gonna try to take you guys with me as much as I can, like obviously recording with my phone because I'm not gonna bring my camera. Let's get ready to go to the concert. It's cold and it's been raining all weekend in Southern California, so that's like very different. That's not the typical weather that we have, so I'm gonna go more for like comfort and warmth than like something crazy and cute, just because I like to be comfortable, and I do want to buy merch, so I probably will buy that and then wear that. So that's the plan. Let's go get ready. All right, quick update. I ended up going with like an off-the-shoulder black shirt and some jeans. I think I'm just gonna wear this because I do have a dress that I had tried on and was thinking about wearing, but it looked too witchy because it was like all black and I was wearing tights, and the tights are like kind of more opaque than I thought they were. Like if they were sheer, it would have looked good, but it just didn't look good. So I'm going for casual, and then I'm gonna buy merch and wear it on top, which I think then will be cute. And then I'm really just counting on the makeup to put us through. I am still going to add tinsel to my hair, and then I have star clips. I think I'm gonna do like a little headband of star clips. So that's kind of the update that I have for now. I'm just waiting on my sister to get here. I'm going to the concert with my partner, my sister, and her husband. So it's gonna be us 4, and she's bringing tinsel. So I'm gonna add pink tinsel to my hair, and then we're gonna bounce.